Well, good evening, everybody. Thank you. I'm Guy Davis, and before I do this first song, the song's called That's No Way to Get Along by Reverend Robert Wilkins. I want to apologize to every woman in this place, because this song talks about low-down women. And I just want y'all to know that I look up to low-down women. Why, if it wasn't for low-down women, I wouldn't have a career. I'm going home. Friends, sit down and tell my oh mama. Friends, sit down and tell my mom. Well, I'm going home to sit down and tell my mom. Yes, I'm going home, friends, to sit down and tell my mom. And that's no way for me to get along. Well, these low down women, mama, they treated your poor son wrong. They treated your poor son wrong. These low-down women treated your poor son wrong. Yes, the low-down women where they treated your poor son wrong. And that's no way for me to get along. Well, they treated me like my poor heart was made from a rock of stone, was made from a rock of stone. They treated me like my poor heart made of a rock of stone. They treated me like my poor heart made of a rock of stone. And that's no way for me to get along. Play this thing for me, boy. Was enough, mama, to make your son wish he dead and gone. Make me wish that dead and gone. That's enough to make your poor son wish he dead and. That's enough to make your poor son wish he dead and gone. And that's no way for me to get along. Well, I stood out on the roadside. I cried alone. All by myself, I cried all by myself. I stood alone on the roadside, I cried all by I stood alone on the roadside, I cried all by myself. And that's no way for me to get along. Well, I'm wanting some train to come and take me on away from here. Come on, take me away from here. Some train to come along. Take me away from some train to come along, take me away from here. And that's no way for me to get along. Take it on home. Thank you. That's no way to get along. White balance, black balance, chip chart. Somebody say go or something. Okay, just checking. Seems like we're close to in tune, but I want to make sure. I want to get a little tighter. Now, I'd rather you folks went away from the show saying you saw Guy Davis tune up for half an hour than play for 5 minutes out of tune, you know. Song I'm getting ready to do is called Taking Just a Little Bit of Time. It's from my Kokomo Kids CD. It's about spending time in the country, and you can help me sing it. All you have to remember are the words. Taking just a little bit of time, baby, taking just a little bit of time. Here you go. I like to spend time in the country, city ain't for me. Put down my phone, go out alone, and I let my spirit be. I'm taking just a little bit of time, baby, taking just a little bit of time. Well, I'm taking just a little bit of time, baby, taking just a little bit of time. That's the part you sing. I like to go by the river and sit on the banks all day. With a pole and a line, nothing on my mind. I can hear what the catfish say. Here you go. I'm taking just a little bit of time, baby. Taking just a little bit of time. Even louder. I'm taking just a little bit of time, baby. Taking just a little bit of time. I like to take my shoes off, go barefoot on the ground. I take a gander at a little salamander and I watch him getting around. Help me out. I'm taking just a little bit of time, baby. Taking just a little bit of time. Yes, I'm taking just a little bit of time, baby. Taking just a little bit of time. Dedicate this next verse to Pete Seeger. I like to play my banjo and walk the railroad track. I walk all day for miles and miles. I don't care when I get back. Here you go now. I'm taking just a little bit of time, baby. Taking just a little bit of time. Yes, I'm taking just a little bit of time, baby. Taking just a little bit of time. I keep whiskey in my pocket. Sometimes I make it gin. Sometimes I tote a keg of beer. It depends what mood I'm in. Here you go now, taking just a little bit of time, baby. Taking just a little bit of time. Yes, I'm taking just a little bit of time, baby. Taking just a little bit of time. In the city, folks are in a hurry, and I gotta get out their way. In the country I go wandering, I won't see a soul all day. Sing it with me now. I'm taking just a little bit of time, baby. Taking just a little bit of time. Yes, I'm taking just a little bit of time, baby. Taking just a little bit of time. I'm taking just a little bit of time, baby. Thank you. Thank you very much. Just one moment. My act is so violent that I've already... Cut. Quickly, cut. He got up. Cut. He moved. Hey. I'm on the internet. We ain't fooling you, right? You have reality in your hands right there. The internet. Well, I saw the clapsticks clapping, so I guess that means I need to get to work here. I'm the non-digital Guy Davis here. That's my title. One of the groups in contention for this Best Traditional Recording Award at the Grammys is some group called the Rolling Stones. Well, Eric Bibb and I decided that if one of us wins it, we're going to have the Stones open for us. It'll be go on a big tour. You know. I'm going to do a song called Limetown. I wrote every bit of this except for the parts I stole. And you'll know those parts because you'll be whispering to other people, he stole that from Hambone Willie Newburn. I know that. Okay. This is just a way of showing you that the blues is meant to be danced to. Tune them up there, baby. Okay, we're having little issues. Oh, okay. A minute. As I said, I'm the non-digital Guy Davis. Here we go. Well, I'm going down Limetown, see my pony run. Yes, well, I'm going down Limetown, honey, I see my pony run. I got a little black beauty, sure love to have some fun. I got the blues all around me, blues is everywhere I go. I got the blues all around me, blues is everywhere I go. I got drunk in Massachusetts, I woke up down in Mexico. To the railroad, I looked up at the sun. Yes, I went to the railroad, I looked up at the sun. If that train doesn't hurry, gonna be some walking done. Well, now I don't know, babe, but honey, I do believe I will. Yeah, now I don't know, babe, but honey, I do believe I will. I'm gonna take you, mama, down to Jacksonville. Well, the captain said, hurry. Sergeant, he said, run. Yes, the captain said, hurry. Sergeant, he said, run. If I had my pistol, I wouldn't do neither one. Well, the woman I love, she got hips that are 6 feet wide. Yes, the girl that I love, her hips is measured 6 feet wide. You ought to see my baby rock them hips from side to side. Thank you. Oh. Thank you so much.
How you doing, Mr. D?
I'm doing okay, but when y'all ready for me, I need somebody to do that. You know, that kind of, you on, that kind of.
Okay.
Show you on the internet.
You just glance over at me. As soon as he does a slate,
On the slate?
you glance over at me and I'll give you the signal.
I like that. Okay, don't. Okay, yeah, don't get ahead of me now. Let's see, I might have to, let me check my tune in.
Check your tune.
I think I'm ready.
All right. Okay, that in 3. Okay, Mr. Davis. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, go.
I'd like to do a song now by Blind Willie McTell called the Statesboro Blues. Wake up, mama, turn your lamp down low. Wake up, mama, turn your lamp down low. Have you got the nerve to drive a good man from your door? Mama died and left me reckless. Daddy died and left me wild. Mama died and left me reckless. Daddy died and left me wild. Well, I ain't good looking, but I'm some sweet woman's angel child. Walk it up. Sister, tell your brother, brother, tell your auntie, auntie, tell your uncle, uncle, tell your cousin, I'm going up to the country. Mama, don't you wanna go? I might take me a fair brown, I might take 1 or 2 more. Big 80 was a train in Georgia. Big 80 left Savannah long. It wouldn't stop you all to see the colored fireman when they got the boiler hot. Reach over in the corner, mama, hand me my traveling shoes. You can tell by that, honey, I had me them old Statesboro Blues. You're a mighty mean woman to treat me this way. When I leave this time, I'm going away to stay. Once I loved a woman better than you ever seen. Once I loved a woman better than you ever seen. She treated me like a king, honey, and she was a doggone queen. Walk it up. Papa got 'em, mama got 'em, sister got 'em, brother got 'em, friend got 'em, I got 'em. I got up this morning, I had them Statesboro blues. Look over in the corner, grandma and grandpa done got 'em too. Take it home. Thank you. Statesboro Blues. It will take me a moment just to check my tuning. Sneaky string. That G string, when it gets out of place, baby, you don't want to know the trouble it could cause. It just... I'm going to tell you the story of Kokomo Kid. Kokomo Kid was a black man born in the United States of America back in the 1800s. His job was to deliver coal to the White House in Washington, D.C. He would drive a horse and buggy along the street. Right around the corner from the East Wing, where all the foreign ministers and dignitaries and popes and stuff go through there. Right around the corner from there, more than 100 years ago, used to be a coal chute. Kokomo Kid would drop that coal down the chute. And when the coal was down, Kokomo Kid became part of the shadow government of the United States of America. Occasionally, things needed to get into the White House that couldn't come in through the front door. And things and people needed to get out. Same thing, couldn't go through the front door. People in the White House couldn't be seen going down to the local jail to bail out the White House pimp or drug dealer. No, no, no. Or the hooch maker, no. So they would send this black man down there. Nobody paid attention to who he was trying to bail out. That's Kokomo Kid. And when he got too old for the job, his son took over. And in the 20th century, he would drive a motorized vehicle along that same street right around the corner from the East Wing. He would dump down the coal, dump down the nose powder, dump down the alcohol. Women would go down the coal chute 3 at a time head first. Wasn't married to anybody in that White House. Now this tradition continues unto this very day, even in the age of the internet, long after that coal chute has been sealed up and forgotten. So Kokomo Kid covers the past and it covers the present. Back when prohibition was the law of the land, politicians knew we didn't understand that drinking was the way that laws got made. They got laid and bribes were paid. When the white bootleggers got sent to jail, nobody couldn't come and go their bail except for Kokomo Kid. I'm talking about Kokomo Kid. When liquor got cut down, the government almost shut down. They needed a bag man who looked like a rag man, who better than a black man to come serve the white man his hoochie find liquor a whole lot quicker than the white bootleggers could do. I'm talking about Kokomo. Kokomo kid. You can call me Kokomo. Kokomo kid. Let me tell you about Annie Oakley. Buckskin mama got her very own drama. Come down from the mountain with the money that she counting for the governor of a state down south on the bottom where I got him when I shot him in the foot trying to keep his size 10 out his mouth. My name's Kokomo. Kokomo kid. He was talking too much. My name's Kokomo. Kokomo kid. Run, get the shovel, dig a hole, Papa. Run, get the shovel, dig a hole in the ground. I was living in the rough, I was living on the tough. I was lifting up the lid, I was living off the grid. But then they found me, the one who used my skills, gave me money so I could pay my bills. They call me Kokomo. Kokomo kid. You can call me Kokomo. Kokomo kid. Washington insiders want drugs and sex. It ain't about who's rich, but who connects. You gotta know the ropes and who to go to. Who did you favors and who do you owe to? Office to office, I can hack your email. Find out if you like male or female. I keep secrets if you say so. But everybody knows you got to pay more to Kokomo. Kokomo kid. Make you check out the Kokomo. Kokomo kid. Well, I've calmed all of Washington's fears. I've kept the Supreme Court high for years. You got governors, senators, even representatives waiting for my drop-off medicine for a bad cough. I got a meeting at 3. I gotta bring Coke to the GOP. They call me Kokomo. Kokomo kid. You can call me Kokomo. Kokomo kid. My name's Kokomo. Kokomo kid. You can call me Kokomo. Kokomo kid. Thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, fellas, I'm going to need to stand up for this next number. So we need to just do a little reconfiguring. I won't be going too much side to side. This is going to be that harmonica piece, not the...
You want to move that mic out a bit?
I'm good. All I really need to do is stand up and get this arm of this thing up. And then you got to point that some other way so it doesn't look like I'm trying to do ventriloquism with my stuff, You know. I'll be up there on CNN next to all them other kids. Well, I didn't know it was being recorded. I'm sorry. I sure didn't know. I'm sorry. Sorry for all them things I said, everything I implied. Oh, I'll be in sorry shape, too. I told folks that if I win this Grammy, that they better talk to me now. Because if I win this Grammy, I'm going to be so obnoxious. Only way you're going to be able to get my nose can be up here. You have to get my attention. You got to throw a shoe at my head. Yes. Yeah, my family got my number. Okay,
How's that?
Oh, that's very good. I'll just keep tiptoe it just this way a little bit. So it's going to be my voice and my foot, and that's it. And if you need to record more than that, you just let me know.
Oh, we'll be fine.
We're pretty good with that.
You want to go ahead and adjust that floor?
Okay. We're adjusting the floor. Ladies and gentlemen, we're adjusting it. So if you hear a rumbling, just hang on to something, stand in the archways, because I stood up on the rock with my legs apart. I looked at the sun and I let out a... Sorry. I'm going to do a song now called I'm Gonna Shake It Like Sonny Did. And this is dedicated to that great harmonica wonder, Sonny Terry. I could live in the desert. I could crawl through the sand. I could swim in the ocean or walk on dry land. When it comes to making music, I'm the kid and I'm gonna shake it like Sonny did. Gonna build me a rocket and fly up into space. Have all them aliens looking right down in my face. But when they find that rocket and they pop the lid, I'm gonna jump out and shake it like Sonny did. I like to drink bourbon when I sing the blues, but I don't drink government whiskey. I drink that moonshine booze. Police come up, they grab my hand, said, "Boy, you got you a ball and chain." The judge looked at me, said, "Boy, you doing time." And he banged down his gavel, and he gave me 99. His wife spoke up, "Don't give him a bid, because that man shake it like Sonny did." The judge's face turned red, put his hand on his hip, and then he drawed down his pistol, and he poked out his lip. Said, "Before I let you play me, kid, you be shaking all over like Sonny did." Shot a bullet in the floor, and that's when I started to dance. He shot a second bullet, and that's almost split my pants. His wife jumped up, she pulled out a gun and said, "Drop it, Judge, I'll give you one." Shake it, Sonny. Shake it, Sonny. Shake it, Sonny. Shake it, Sonny. Thank you. If some kind folks could sort of reassemble that microphone configuration, I'm going to retune. And boy, do I have a story to tell. Thank you. People tell me I tell stories good as a politician. Only difference between me and a politician is you know I'm lying coming in the door, and I charge one flat rate, all the lies you want. Now, a politician, they want to be paid per lie, and they don't tell you when it's going to happen. They surprise you with this. That's fine. And I know you want to just make sure that's, but wherever that sits, I guess it's pointed more there than there. Wherever's comfortable for you.
Check the guitar mic.
So nice of you to bring this. I was, you know. I'm going to tell you the story of the mustache. This is the first time I ever grew an adult mustache. All the other times I've grown a mustache up to recently, the mustache looked, my ex-wife told me it looked like my eyebrow had crawled down my face and over my lip. I said to her, honey, you could have lied to me just once. And once I lied to you, you could have lied to me one time I did mustache. But, anyway, I got a part as a cowboy and a thing. So. Okay. I'm going to tell you the story of Sugar Belly. Now, a lot of us think that great beauty is a blessing, especially in women. My gosh, what power she has. She's so beautiful. But sometimes great beauty can be a curse. That's the way it was with Sugar Belly. Sugar Belly was a young, beautiful, mixed-race girl, born more than 100 years ago. She was born down in the southern part of this country. Now, one might think that 100 years ago in the South, a mixed-race child would have a father that was perhaps a white landowner and a mother who was a woman who worked on the land that he owned. There were lots of mixed-race children. But that wasn't the way that Sugar Belly came into the world. You see, Sugar Belly's mother was a white woman of Irish descent. She had very dark black hair and bright, beautiful green eyes. And her father was a man who was as black as this night. Now, if it became known 100 years ago that a black man fathered a child with a white woman, he would be taken away and killed. And the white woman would be defamed, dishonored, probably made to leave town. Now, on that day when Sugar Belly showed up into town, nobody knew for sure where she came from, at least not from a distance, because as I said, there are a lot of mixed race children and adults. But what made Sugar Belly different was her green eyes. So nobody could lay claim to Sugar Belly. To lay claim was to take responsibility, and a black father, as I said, had no chance. So she was left alone to grow up. She grew up in destitution and didn't have but one change of clothes. She used to play by herself, this poor little girl, in a dirt lot. She had one companion to play with that was a puppy dog. The puppy dog belonged to a black woman they called Grandma. Now, Grandma used to sit in a rocking chair on the porch of a house across the street from that dirt lot. The house that Grandma sat on the porch of was filled with beautiful women. And where there are women, men will come. The men would come, say they might take a pack of cigarettes out their pocket, maybe light one up and toss the pack up on the porch to Grandma. Grandma would lean down, take a cigarette out, and toss the pack back to the man. Then without getting up, Grandma would lean back in her rocking chair and rap her knuckles on the screen door behind her. And one of those women's beautiful faces would appear framed by that screen door. And the man might look up, he might say no, he might say yes. And if he said yes, he came up on that porch, he was welcomed inside, and he and that beautiful woman disappeared upstairs. Now, Sugar Belly, the little girl, saw all of this. She saw way more than a young girl of her tender years ought to see. But there's one thing Sugar Belly did not see. She didn't see when Grandma took the cigarette out the pack. She didn't see Grandma take the money. So Sugar Belly grew up thinking that a woman could be had for a cigarette. And when Sugar Belly got a few years older, she went to work in this house. Way down East Texas, more beautiful couldn't be found, was a girl named Sugar Belly, stood 5 feet from the ground. You're the prettiest girl that I ever did see, and I want you to be my Sugar Belly girl. If she had 1,000 lovers, she didn't love not a one. But a jealous lover took her life, then he cried when he was done. You're the prettiest girl that I ever did see, and I want you to be my Sugar Belly girl. Well, I love you, Sugar Belly, and I want you for my own. Please tell your other men to turn around and go back home. You're the prettiest girl that I ever did see, and I want you to be my Sugar Belly girl. Sugar Belly was upstairs with this old man. Sweet mama, squeeze your daddy tight. I got jelly bone jelly, girl, enough to last all night. You're the prettiest girl that I ever did see, and I want you to be my Sugar Belly girl. Jelly bone jelly, where they say it can't be wrong. They say that Sugar Belly lasts about 9 months long. You're the prettiest girl that I ever did see, and I want you to be my Sugar Belly girl. When a jealous lover grabbed her, she tried to get away. By God and the devil, you are mine, and today's your dying day. You're the prettiest girl that I ever did see, and I want you to be my Sugar Belly girl. Please don't you kill me, she begged with her last breath. But he squeezed his fingers around her throat and he strangled that girl to death. You're the prettiest girl that I ever did see, sun cried up in heaven, and the moon released her tide. God turned his back to his angels the night Sugar Belly died. You're the prettiest girl that I ever did see, and I want you to be my Sugar Belly girl. Way down past hellfire, who's that knocking on the devil's door? Sugar Belly is mine now. She ain't coming back no more. She's the prettiest girl that I ever did see, and I want her to be my Sugar Belly girl. But 10 angels had dropped down from heaven. That was who was knocking. But this time they kicked down Satan's door. They said, in death her curse is lifted. She will stay with you no more. And they took Sugar Belly by her hand, and they raised her up to the surface of the earth, up past the clouds and the moon and the stars and the sun, up to that place they call heaven. And nobody knows if it was a day later or a week or a month. Another woman who worked in that house started going by the name Sugar Belly. And then other women in other houses took on that same name, Sugar Belly. And even little schoolgirls would tease each other sometimes, and one might call another Sugar Belly. And a fella might come home after a long, hard day of work and walk through the field past that house. And he'd call out to him, Sugar Belly, Sugar Belly, honey, where you been so long? I've been on the road, I've been on the rail, trying to get back home. You're the prettiest girl that I ever did see, and I want you to be my Sugar Belly girl. You're the prettiest girl that I ever did see, and I want you to be my Sugar Belly girl. Thank you. There's so much more to that story. When you are ready, I am ready. Except I want a sip of water. I'm getting ready to sing a song called the Saturday Blues. This song was recorded by Ishman Bracey. I hesitate to say written by, because this is a work song. This song must have come right out the fields. I mean, this song didn't come anywhere near Tin Pan Alley, you know what I mean? Ishman Bracey was the brother of Tommy Johnson, who wrote a song called Canned Heat. And if there's some 1969 hippies in this room right now, you'll know what I'm talking about. Old Tommy Johnson used to like to drink Sterno after straining it through a piece of white bread. And all these years they've been telling me white bread wasn't good for anything. They missed that one. All right, Saturday Blues. Won't you tell me, Mama, do you think it's right you with your kid all day and run to me at night? With your kid all day and run to me at night. You with your regular woman stole my pocket change, and my sometime woman want to do the same. Better not let my angel catch you here. Don't let my angel catch you. She turned into a devil. Oh, don't you never let my angel catch you here. Well, there ain't no telling what she might do, Lord. She might cut you, she might shoot you too. Ain't no telling, honey, what she might do. Well, she might cut you, she might shoot you too. Well, the meanest woman that I ever seen, Lord, I asked for water, she bring me gasoline. I asked her for water, she bring me gasoline. Well, I asked for water, she bring me gasoline. I got 4 or 5 puppies and 1 shaggy hound. It takes all them dogs to run my women down. It take all them dogs, honey, to run all my women down. It takes all them dogs to run my women down. Won't you tell me, baby, do you think it's right you with your kid all day and run to me at night? With your kid all day and run to me at night. With your kid all day and run to me at night. Thank you. I'm glad you're so live, because guys, tuning stays very live, very active. Okay. Come on, man. Okay, we're having a rebellion of some sort here. I'll have it together shortly. Thank you. I'd like to do a song from my Kokomo Kid CD. It's called I Wish I Hadn't Stayed Away So Long. I wrote this Christmas Day 2014. My mom died that year. Pete Seeger died that year. In the life of a road musician, I can't tell you how many times a phone call comes, a text, a message of some kind that you needed at home right away. And you're somewhere off, and even if you leave right away, you can't get home on time. There's a line in this song that goes, "Bell rang on the midnight train carrying the hobos home." Please remember that, because it's part of the chorus you're going to be singing. But I think of myself as one of those hobos. Hobo has to go where the work is. That's what a hobo's got to do. And it's a metaphor for you too, because even if you live and work in the same town, sometimes there's things you got to do that keep you in one place or the other but not both. So I'm hoping that you will sing and raise your voices along with me when we get to the chorus of the song, and I'll let you know what it is. But just raise your voices up and fill this room. I wish I hadn't stayed away so long. Well, I wish I hadn't stayed away so long. Bell rang on the midnight train carrying the hobos home. And I wish I hadn't stayed away so long. My mother died when I was on the road. My mama died when I was on the road. Bell rang on the midnight train carrying the hobos home. My mother died when I was on the road. I wish I hadn't stayed away so long. Sing it with me. Well, I wish I hadn't stayed away so long. As it filled the room up. Well, I wish I hadn't stayed away so long. Bell rang on the midnight train. Bell rang on the midnight train carrying the hobos home. And I wish I hadn't stayed away so long. I got home too late to say goodbye. I got home too late to say goodbye. Bell rang on the midnight train carrying the hobos home. I got home too late to say goodbye. Wish I hadn't stayed away so long. Well, I wish I hadn't stayed away so long. Fill the room up with those voices. I wish I hadn't stayed away so long. Bell rang on the midnight train. Bell rang on the midnight train carrying the hobos home. And I wish I hadn't stayed away so long. I can't count the times I've stole away and cried. I can't count the times I've stole away and cried. Bell rang on the midnight train carrying the hobos home. I can't count the times I've stole away and cried. Wish I'd stayed away so long. Well, I wish I hadn't stayed away so long. I wish I hadn't stayed away so long. Bell rang on the midnight train. Bell rang on the midnight train carrying the hobos home. And I wish I hadn't stayed away so long. Come on, let's get one last one for Pete Seeger. Well, I wish I hadn't Thanks so much. Thank y'all from my heart. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. You know I'm the luckiest man in the world to come and share this time with you. Okay. Now this is the chopper. We gotta move the chopper. Move some stuff.
We're going to Eric. You ready? Okay.
I will take the scarf. In case it gets away from me. Thank you.
Slate.
He's selling it at the merch table.
All right. Mr. Davis. 3, 2.
I'm getting ready to demonstrate a work song, but before I do, I just want to assure the crowd here that there's nothing crazy getting ready to happen. I have here a theatrical prop. Why don't you just wrap your knuckles on that right quick on the front of the tip. Yeah, see, it's a piece of wood. So the worst could happen here is I get a fat lip. There'd be no danger to anyone. Back in the 60s, I saw Pete Seeger come to an auditorium full of children mostly, and lay a log on stage, stand there with a real axe, and wham down into that thing with splinters flying, and he's singing a work song, probably that he learned from somebody who he called a friend. That was Leadbelly. He knew Leadbelly as well as Woody Guthrie and Sonny Terry Brown and McGee, all those guys. They hung out. They were neighbors. Well, I'm going to do kind of an extension of what he did. Pete would do a song called Long Gone Lost John. There's another song called Riley Walked the Water, and I have kind of combined the two to a song called Long Gone Riley Brown. And I need you to help me do it. This is not too difficult. I have to, let me just get a note here to walk on. Let's see. I'm going to sing a line, and you repeat it after me. I say, he's a long gone. He's a long gone. Oh, this is wonderful. It's going to work out so nice. And whenever I sing, when I say like a turkey through the corn, like a turkey, corn, that kind of, and on and on and on. But when I say his name, when I say Riley Brown, then you stop repeating after me because the song would go on all night. And we'd all have to have access because, you know. Okay, but I made it more like a song, so there's verses and then we kind of chop on the chorus. Okay, long gone Riley Brown. Well, I want to tell you a story about Riley Brown. He was a moonshine maker from outside town. The sheriff went to get him and drawed his gun. That's when Riley began to run, and he's long gone. He's long gone. He's long gone. Like a turkey through the cold. Like a turkey through the cold. With the long clothes on. With the long clothes on. He's long gone. He's long gone. Riley Brown. Right, that's when you stop saying. You think they listen to me if I have an accent. Okay. He had a special pair of shoes that he kept in his sack, had a heel in the front and a heel in the back. Riley took off and he heard the hounds coming. He couldn't tell which way old Riley was a-running. He's long gone. He's long gone. He's long gone. He's long gone. Like a turkey through the cold. Like a turkey through the cold. With his long clothes on. With his long clothes on. He's long gone. He's long gone. Riley Brown. Y'all seen old Riley, sure could run. Outran the bullets from the sheriff's gun. Ran through fire, ran through ice. Ran across the water like Jesus Christ. He's long gone. He's long gone. He's long gone. He's long gone. Like a turkey through the cold. Like a turkey through the cold. With his long clothes on. With his long clothes on. He's long gone. He's long gone. Riley Brown. Well, the sheriff caught Riley, throwed him in jail. Took away his money so he couldn't make bail. The townsfolk hollered when they found out that the jail tipped over and Riley walked out. He's long gone. He's long gone. Riley long gone. Riley long gone. Like a turkey through the cold. Like a turkey through the cold. With his long clothes on. With his long clothes on. He's long gone. He's long gone. Riley Brown. Riley died when he got old, but let me tell you a story ain't never been told. 10,000 biscuits in each hand, he sopped his way to the promised land. He's long gone. He's long gone. He's long gone. He's long gone. Like a turkey through the cold. Like a turkey through the cold. With his long clothes on. With his long clothes on. He's long gone. He's long gone. Riley Brown. Riley went to heaven with a bottle of gin. Banged on the gate, but he couldn't get in. St. Peter called out, "Is that Riley Brown? There's no more room, you got to go back down." He's long gone. He's long gone. He's long gone. He's long gone. Like a turkey through the cold. Like a turkey through the cold. With his long clothes on. With his long clothes on. He's long gone. He's long gone. Riley long gone. Riley long gone. He's long gone. He's long gone. Riley Brown. Well, that seems to conclude the singing part of the show. I think they want me to just go over there, stand near the CDs, as if sort of by accident and casually, just look about. And when you come to talk to me, since I'm a Grammy nominee, I'll be like acting like I'm looking for somebody else to talk to.
Check one. Okay, so we're going to take a short break, maybe about 10 minutes. Then we're going to bring Guy back up and do a little interview. So stick around.
Kids? Okay.
Check. Oh.
Sounds like it's in there.
Okay, we're good. Rico, take the floor floods out. Thank you, sir. Okay. Everybody have a seat.
I guess this is the right spot.
Yeah, you're in a perfect spot. Go ahead and roll
Mic check, check. Mic check, 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 mic. Occupy.
Resist.
Okay. Yes.
Resist.
Go underground if you have to. Resist.
Okay. Connor, are you good on all cameras? We don't have any main cams yet. Maribeth and Jerry. Jerry, you want to roll? I can roll Maribeth. And roll Maribeth's camera. Nat, go ahead.
We're still in the testing phase, right? They're not showing us anywhere, right?
No.
Okay.
We're probably GoPro live, just on a long shot.
I read the president's emails when I hacked in his account. I saw his missing taxes, and that ain't all I found. His hair comes from a horse's ass stuck on tight with glue, but I won't get in trouble because I told him it was you.
Okay. All right, Nat, go ahead. There we go. So that's going to be tough to follow.
That's my mic check.
So, it's working. It's really working. Great job tonight. Thank you so much. So I would be totally remiss if I didn't say to everybody out there that this is the first Grammy nomination for you, and I couldn't be happier. It's a long time coming. It should have happened a while back, but this is great news. And I can't understand how in the world you're up against the Rolling Stones for Best Traditional Blues Album.
I don't know how that works out. Nowadays, for a black man to sing the blues, he's got to go to a white man to get permission to sing it. So, it's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy. I'm telling you, it's rigged. The system is rigged. So look, I'm happy to be up there. My partner who produced that CD, Sonny and Brownie's Last Train, is named Fabrizio Poggi, plays the harmonica, some of the harmonica on it, most of it. So he and I will be sitting there in our tuxedos looking, kind of puffed up roast chickens, like, and we'll see how it goes.
Now, you recorded that in Italy, too, didn't you?
Yeah, we recorded this in Milan in the space of less than 24 hours. I would say something teen hours was the amount of time we had in the studio over the course of 2 days. I came from a tour, went to the studio, and went back to a tour. I was tired. I was overweight. Oh, tote that barge, lift that bale, get a little drunk, and yeah. So it was like that. But Fabrizio has produced other work by me, people like Juba Dance. And he's been quite a guy, a lover of the blues. He's also an author. Of course, his books are in Italian, so you might have to do a little translating. But, man, I'm surrounded by really good people. And, hey, if this Grammy thing happens, look out now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to buy myself a cape just to walk around my apartment in. I'll be in my underwear with some cowboy boots and a cape. Get me some cornflakes, please.
Tell me why you chose Sonny Terry and Brownie McGee. Okay. Was it the acoustic and the harmonica?
Okay. I got to answer this sort of in layers. I love Sonny and Brownie because they are magic as they are, the way I first heard them. The recording, I wasn't thinking about doing. I'm thinking, man, they've done the classic. They've done the thing. You don't try to come at it again and duplicate. That's the thing. But Fabrizio persuaded me to come. He made me an offer I couldn't refuse. He said, I'll be your friend forever. I said, I'm coming. I'm coming. And we did it because of that. But now, over the years, I've heard Sonny and Brownie, and man, you're listening to something amazing. They have a very unique kind of position. Not many people got in a position to be blues artists and then folk artists. You had maybe Big Bill Bruns, you had Leadbelly, Josh White, and Sonny Terry Brown and McGee. And, you know, you put Woody Guthrie in the mix and Pete Seeger, and the folks who were around that time made this such a magical time. And then when I listen to Sonny, you hear him play this harmonica like nobody can play that. And I stole from him in order to play that piece I did. It was my piece, all of it. But I stole from Sonny, but it took me 20 years to steal from him to be able to do that. So it's like I did time for stealing, you know? And so whatever I play, I did earn it. And it got me on stage on Broadway in New York City a bunch of years ago in a role that Sonny Terry originated. The play was Finian's Rainbow, the musical, back in 2009, 2010, the one I did. The original was 1947, the year the flying saucers landed. You remember that, don't you?
I do. I wasn't here yet, but I was informed when I got here.
Yeah, your genes were kind of maybe
absolutely
on the scene. You know?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Is this?
And another thing.
Now I've completely lost my train of thought. Is this now going to be something moving forward where you're going to maybe take on these sort of traditional, I don't want to call it a cover, but you know where I'm going with that?
I see where you're going. Maybe select wonderful artists such as Big Bill Bruns, your
right.
Son House, and explore some of their work
yes.
musically. Very possibly. Very possibly. I definitely wouldn't put it out of the realm of happening. But as you know, I'm a storyteller, and I got some more work of my own I got to get recorded. I intend to do what you said, but I got more of my own stuff. I'm so full of stories, I need a laxative, you know what I mean? I'm just full of them, full of stories. I'm loaded.
I have some. Do you need one?
I might.
You mentioned Pete Seeger. I interviewed Pete several years ago, one of these, and we talked about now. Going back through your work, there is a lot of social commentary. There's not a lot of overt political commentary. There's some. Now, when I interviewed Pete, he said an artist that has a platform is obligated to speak out. And I've asked this question to probably 100 different artists. Some have said, yeah, I agree with that completely. Others have said, you know, that's not my thing. A lot of people don't write political music for different reasons. Some don't want to alienate an audience. Some have said to me, I don't write political music because I don't think I would be good enough to say it. A lot of people say, I don't write political music because who gives a shit what I have to say? And, you know, that's not really, doesn't really matter. What is your take on, especially in the times that we're in right now, what is your take on writing something that's of the time, that is kind of politically important?
I am an underground folk artist, underground protest singer as well. I used to go to a summer camp in Vermont run by Pete Seeger's brother, and they programmed me with that little red book. Oh, boy. And I'm so glad they did. Oh, I have got commentary. I got songs I'm working on about the Flint River pollution disaster. And you just heard a little bit a bit ago when I did that song, the It Was You song. Oh God, it's like the first verse. I've got a secret, promise not to tell. I farted in the White House and it left an awful smell. I farted in the Oval Office, Lincoln bedroom too, but I won't get in trouble because I told him it was you. And then the whole audience says, it was you. It was, so yeah, it's time. It's time. I've just been working it out as an artist. But more and more at concerts, I'm kind of sneaking it in at the end. You know, it's, oh my God, I think he's political.
But you know your social your songs. I mean, you could take something that's going on today. Now, you know, I'm a huge supporter of what's going on right now with women. And you could say that a song like She Just Wants to Be Loved could have a very important statement about that. You know, that's a song that has a really strong social comment.
Yeah. She Just Wants to Be Loved wasn't written for political or social commentary reasons. It was written because it was in there and it had to come out. And there is a person who actually did give me a phone call, as is narrated by the song, and did burst into tears. And the song itself is not literal according to their life, but it led me to things that opened up that song, a song that people can listen to and some identify with, and some of it's horrible about people being beaten and harmed, people who just want to be loved. So I need encouragement not only from yourself, a show like this, but from women everywhere, every day, to continue to sing that song and just say to the world, yes, my eyes may not be all the way open, but I need you to help me open them. I sang a song, doesn't mean I know everything, but there's more to be known. We have more stories to tell one another, and almost more importantly, we need to listen to each other's stories.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure where the song came from. I grew up in a household that was basically pretty loving, pretty gentle. Anybody got in trouble, it was generally me doing the stupid teenage stuff, you know, it's pretty much. Dad had a real cool way of punishing you. When you did wrong, I had to stand there in front of him with my hand up like this. He'd take off his belt, and you know, he'd look in your eye, you know, you knew what you did, and he could wham down on your hand, hurt you without harming you. And this, in my case, was especially useful and important. Of course, now my mother, on the other hand, had hands like Bruce Lee. She was faster than Bruce Lee. I never saw one of them shots coming like, pow. You know, so a teenage boy with a smart mouth had no chance against my mama. Oh boy, it's like you get whammed and your knees are buckling and you don't even, you know, and you only realize you've been hit, you know, when you're about a foot from the floor. It's like, Mayday, I've been hit, I'm going in. Because I was just loaded with that teenage wisdom. Oh God. She straightened me out about that. So yeah, let's, getting back to the root, let's make room and forums to tell each other our stories. That's amongst the sexes, amongst the countries, politics, everything. We got to listen, we got to speak.
Yeah, I think it's more important now that you know, I mean, it's just more important that we listen to each other more now. You know, we need to kind of understand we need to understand where each other are coming from. And I think that's what's really missing right now, is that one half of the country doesn't understand where the other half is coming from, and that's a problem. And you know, it's leading to some pretty bad things. And
it's already kind of led to some pretty bad things. No one political party has the answer. And obviously there are a lot of people in this country who need something that they thought they could get by following the Make America Great Again campaign. But that also encourages you to not think for yourself sometimes. And there are other historical figures who encouraged us not to think for ourselves and not to think about our neighbors who had been taken away in the middle of the night, because they were Jewish or whatever. So we got to remember to think. And yes, questions have to be asked of one another. What is the black man named Darrell Davis? Share a name, but we're not family, who speaks to members of the Ku Klux Klan.
He's an amazing guy.
Yeah, and
Amazing
they
guy.
have given him their robes. And he happens to be a very brilliant musician, but perhaps there's something about him that is it's not threatening in any way, and you feel like there's room for you to speak. So maybe when he goes amongst people who I might consider myself very alien to, maybe they feel like they got room to speak. So none of us is above dialogue. As much as I say that, okay, the politics is wrong, and I want to take my gloves and I want to beat up on the leaders, I have to think in terms of maybe one glove is for, waking them up, but then the other glove has to be education. This has to be telling you what is needed. This has to be, how do we heal it? How do we solve it? So that two-punch system shouldn't be all about punishment. It's got to be about upliftment. Boy, I put a lot of things in that. So.
I saw the piece. I saw a piece on him, and he has 48 robes from Grand Dragons of the Ku Klux Klan that he has gone and he has just sat down and he's talked with these people, and then he comes away with these robes, and he's got a collection of 48 robes that, Anyway, let's move on to songwriting. There's certainly not a shortage of things to write about now. In your process, is everything fair game? Can you ride on the train in the morning and that could be a song?
Yes, everything is fair game. Songs and stories they can be treasure. People will fill a theater to listen to a person perhaps tell a story, just to see some glimmer of the human soul. Because when you see that glimmer, it lights yours up too. Well, it doesn't light it, but you feel like there's permission for you to light it up too. So there shouldn't be any subject that's too alien to us. I think that we should be open to, as artists, you want to be open to everything and write about, oh my God, my sneaker, the red one doesn't look as bright as it used to the other day. My sneakers are dim. This would be a John Gorka song. My sneakers are, I'm messing with you. John, I love you. I love you. Change your socks. I love you, John Gorka.
So is everything, do you see the world as a song?
I could. And if Coca-Cola came up here and asked me, said, we're going to give you $75 million to write a song that says that the world is a song, heck yeah. I said, the world is a song. The world is a song. Coca-Cola makes the world is a song. It's a song. It's a song, 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 song. Cokey doke. Oh, yeah.
Cokey doke.
The world is a song, but it is so much more than a song. Maybe that's my message to the world. Getting back to the topic of women lately who have been coming forward to the media about things that they've suffered a long, long time ago. In the end, I hope it's because the women realize that the people realize that they are bigger than that experience. And maybe it's taken time to get there. And it's still very tempting. Even with all news coming forward, it's still tempting to say, well, why didn't you come forward so and so ago? Why didn't you say something? How come you waited? Because something hurt. Because something really got broken inside. And sometimes it's caused by fists, sometimes it's caused by words. You don't know.
Well, 30 years ago, the question, why didn't you say something 30 years ago, is the exact reason why you didn't say something 30 years ago. Because if you got to ask that question today, that question 30 years ago, was a whole lot more brutal.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yeah, the world's in the process of waking up, and it's uncomfortable, and it's
We're
going
gonna
to
run
stay
out of men.
uncomfortable.
That
Well, let's just say I don't know too many male angels. But that's not the point. The point is if we can treat each other civilly day to day, we got a shot at it. If we're going to at least be civil and create an atmosphere where people feel welcome to be. I mean, we go, oh, God, the quote unquote, the abortion issue. Maybe as a man, my job is to not lecture a woman about it, how often do I have kids? Maybe my job is to try to make the world as good a place as I possibly can to where maybe a woman might never think to have an abortion, maybe. But it's not my job to tell people what to do, When you got the plumbing inside you and I don't, and I'm telling you what to do.
Well, there has to be something said for a room full of 60-year-old white men sitting around a table making laws about what happens with women, not a woman in the room. Not a single woman in the room, not even somebody to say, guys, you got that anatomy thing right there a little bit wrong. Not even anybody to say that.
You let my mama walk in that room and one of them not give her a seat, they'll find out what to do right away. Oh, baby, whoa! Hallelujah. They get religion right there, man. Oh, I'll tell you what, if science figures out a way that birth no longer requires a woman's body, that you could do it all in a little petri dish, and then women start hanging out all night long and seeing who they want to see, and have little posters of men hanging up that they like, oh boy, I don't think the men are going to be too happy, boy. But what happened to, remember when, can't you come home? No, come home for what? Yeah.
Boy, we slid off the rails.
I know, I'm way off the rails. Sorry, guys.
We
You're
went
talking
way
about
off
music. Music.
We are completely off the rails. Oh, my goodness. So let's go back to Sonny Terry and Brownie McGee. Classify that for me. Piedmont, Delta.
Okay.
Tell me where you're.
All right. Sonny Terry and Brownie McGee, I would say their specialty is a Piedmont style of blues, but it's when you get that folk mixed in there, Brownie could turn the Delta on. He could turn the Chicago on. Brownie was larger than he looked. Brownie wasn't just Sonny's partner. I mean, Sonny's this amazing figure because of that harmonica. But Brownie, that man made the guitar talk. He did, to me, if I hear him being played, I could sort of pick him out from other musicians because he's got that thing. He's got something like Reverend Gary Davis has this sound, and Lightning Hopkins has that sound. Brownie McGee's got that too. Sonny and Brownie, rooted in Piedmont, but larger than that. Show tunes, you name it. They played what they had to do.
Next time I have you here, I want you to do Skip James. I want you to do Hard Time Killing Floor.
If I ever. Okay. We'll okay. Okay, we'll do that. Also, I'm going to start working on a CD full of the dirtiest blues I know.
Well, Hard Time Killing Floors is dirty. That's dirty as it gets. Skip James dirty as that's it right there. That's the.
Okay. Well, I got one slightly dirtier. Call who?
See, that's what I wanted to hear.
It's called Who's Loving You Tonight.
That's back door right there.
Yeah, it's back door.
That's back porch, back door.
Yeah.
Leave the fence gate open. That's better.
Leave the fence open, let the pigs out. Yes, okay.
So tell me, we talked earlier tonight, before the show tonight, we talked about you've got a new thing that you're working on with the storytelling, where we're going to be bringing in Riley Brown and some of the other, tell me a little bit about that so we have something to look forward to.
Well, the working title is Sugar Belly and Other Tales Whispered from the Dead. It makes you talk more clearly, I'm sure.
Jesus came.
You got to do the sacrament there.
My glass was empty. Jesus came to me and filled my glass. Can I get an amen?
They ran out of wafers, had to give you extra wine. That's good. Okay, so yeah, it's going to be, the working title is Sugar Belly and Other Tales Whispered from the Dead.
I love that song, by the way. Sugar Bell is one of my favorite songs. Love that.
Thank you. I got stories within stories. I think that'll be a central tale, but there are stories that are going to go on around it about the community of people that Sugar Belly lived amongst. And there's a character in my story who also in real life was part of my family's history. In Georgia, which is where my dad grew up, there was a man who the county fathers assigned to be the lord over the black people living. He was a black man. He was kind of a straw boss. They gave him a gun, and that way they wouldn't have to come all get involved in the people of the community. That black man could keep order. The county fathers decided that my grandfather had what they call the white man's job, and they didn't want him to live, so they sent that man to kill my grandfather. And this is a man who's going to be represented in the stories I'm telling, the Sugar Belly stories. And so that man came to my grandfather's house and I guess started talking some kind of threatening talk. And my grandfather opened up his jacket and showed him this revolver he had and said he wasn't afraid of him. And so that man never did kill my grandfather. Otherwise, this conversation would be real different right here. I don't know who you'd be talking with, but it would be me.
I had no idea who I'd be talking to.
But I will say this. That man was also a killer. Not only would he ambush a hobo who'd gotten off of a train to go find some water to drink, he'd come up behind him, club him in the head, and that hobo would wake up on the chain gang, and that man would get money for each of those hobos he delivered. He was one of the county fathers who loved a black woman. The black woman did not want him, but the county father said that that black woman had to come see him for whatever business, and so this man, the killer, said, okay, I'll drive you around to see the boss. But instead of driving to where the boss was, he drove her out by a swamp and killed her. This is family history. And I'm going to be, I say extended family history really because the woman herself was not part of my family. And the man who was the killer, all I know about him came from an uncle who told me that he drank himself to death. And I have no idea how he found this out. He told me what words that the woman who Fonza Curry killed, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said his name, but that's his name, Fonza Curry. The woman that he killed turned to him just before he killed her, and he said, she said, I know why you brought me here. Those were the last words she said. And that story and other stories I've heard surrounding my family's history are turning into this tale that I'm going to tell of Sugar Belly.
Wow.
So yeah, I got stories.
Wow. That's heavy. That's real heavy. Let me ask you something. From that part of the country, have you ever studied any of the Gullah Geechee sounds?
I can't say that I've truly studied it, but I did go down to the Georgia Sea Islands. I was working with the South Carolina Arts Commission. And on my second foray with the Arts Commission, I went 1 year and did one show, came back, did another. Second time through, they took us down to John's Island, and we went to the Morning Star Hall Baptist Church, Morning Star or Moving Star Church. And so there's a bunch of sort of a contingent of white folks and myself. I'm part of the theater company. We sit, in the back of the church, and it's filled with congregants. And there was an organ there. There was also a piano there. But some folks started up a song. It was "Fix me, Jesus, fix me right, fix me so I can stand, fix my feet on solid rock, fix me so I can stand." And the whole congregation started doing something that puzzled me. They were clapping on the beat. These are black people now. Fix me, Jesus, fix me right, fix me so. And there were these two black women who sort of got up on their feet and were doing this slow kind of shuffling dance, but this is on the beat. And I said, what happened? What? I don't understand. And then at the same moment, I don't know how they do it other than tradition. They all broke it. Fix me, Jesus, fix me right. Doing this thing called the triple clap. Yeah. And it's just right along the bench, up my spine. I was on my feet. And it's like I didn't have to get explained to anymore why they started on the beat and suddenly that beat turned up. Oh, God. So, yeah, you could say I studied there. I got educated.
That's, the reason I asked you that is because I would just, the Gullah Geechee, the rhythm of that music is intense. I mean, it's so different. I mean, it is absolutely unique in music, anywhere. Amen. Completely unique in music. And I thought to myself, wow, that'd be cool.
It comes from the time when the church congregants couldn't afford an instrument. There wouldn't have been a piano there or an organ there. So the organist and the pianist, they didn't touch their instruments. Just the congregation was clapping and hollering, singing. It was beautiful. And then after a while, they would go back to the single, and then back to the so yeah. Awesome. There's a big study out there waiting to be done.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Guy Davis, I love you, man. I think it's just I'm thrilled to death you came here tonight. I've been a fan for so long, and it's such a pleasure. It's such a pleasure to have you.
Dude.
Such a pleasure.
Thanks for having me again here, man.
Thank
I love
you.
it here.
Thank you. Cheers, my brother.
Cheers. And what that man said, we got a Jew lawyer.
Yeah.
We got an Afghan hound, too.